Hello and welcome to Tpot with me, Michelle Hammond. I am absolutely delighted to be joined by Leon, founder of the beautiful skincare Ishga, who is also one of our amazing sponsors for this year's Tpot Shine Your Light Awards. Leon, lovely to see you. Thank you for joining me.
Nice to see you, Michelle. Thank you for inviting me on this call.
Oh, well, it's an absolute joy. And as I say, you're one of our sponsors joining us this year for our awards. So thank you so much for coming on board and doing that so heartfully. I wanted to shine a light on you for a little bit as a sponsor. And for those that don't know enough about Ishga, I thought maybe you could kind of tell us a little bit about the backstory of Ishga and what makes Ishga so unique. And also then some of the things that are coming up for you in the future, because I know you've got a lot going on, haven't you?
Well, thank you very much. And thank you for the opportunity to shine the light on Ishga. Once I start talking about Ishga, I can sometimes go on a bit, but it's only because I'm very passionate about the brand. So I'll try and keep it concise. But for those of you that don't know, Ishga, we're an organic seaweed-based skincare range from the Outer Hebrides. So if you haven't been to the Outer Hebrides and you don't know where the Outer Hebrides are, it's the very far northwest part of Scotland. We're actually based on the Isle of Lewis. So Lewis is the northern part of the Hebrides in Stornoway. It's a beautiful place, and I would highly recommend that you visit. But so when we talk about Ishga, we're actually celebrating 10 years of Ishga this year. So Ishga came about when I was working in a spa in Glasgow, and we were doing seaweed baths, and I met a scientist from Stornoway called Malcolm and Martin, who harvest seaweed and sent seaweed to the seaweed to Blytheswood Square. And at the time we were doing seaweed baths, and then he said, I've created a pot of cream. Do you think you could sell this pot of cream in the spa? And I said, that sounds great. I said, what's so special about the pot of cream? And he said, well, it's packed full of seaweed. And I said, what's so great about seaweed? He said, well, it's packed full of antioxidants. It's great at repairing your skin. It's got some wonderful detox properties. I said, oh, we'll send it. And he sent this pot of cream, and it was a bit brown and it stunk of seaweed. And I said, this is great. I said, but it could do with some refinement. And actually what we did, I was very lucky at the time that the people that employed me at the spa, I said, I've got an opportunity to create a brand with two people from the Hebrides. Would you mind? And they said, well, as long as you deliver the results in the spa, then off you go. And that's how Ishga was born. And it wasn't Ishga at that point. So that was probably about 13 years ago that we had those conversations. And it was 10 years in August since we actually sold our first Ishga product. So
wow, that's incredible. Well done.
So it's an exciting year for us. So again, it's great to be doing let's supporting the awards with this year. But really, when we talk about Ishga, we talk about three key things, and we talk about the provenance of where Ishga's from and how important that is, because that's where we hand harvest our seaweed from in the pure natural environment. That we use a lovely healing well for water. We don't use any tap water in the products. So we talk about provenance, then we talk about the benefits and the real benefits that it has on the skin and why seaweed is so good. So seaweed has been used for centuries for helping repair skin and also we've seen it work. It works very well for any like eczema and psoriasis type problems and really locking moisture into the skin. So we talk about benefits, and then we talk about the science. So Malcolm, one of the other founders, is a scientist. So science is key to what we do, and really understanding how the science benefits the range. So from the antioxidant response that it has to currently we're involved in a project where our head of research and development is in a lab, basically cultivating skin cells and firing UV rays at them and seeing, or cultivating skin cells, applying the extracts and firing UV rays at them to see what response the skin has. So, and it's shown that there's been, they're protecting, the seaweed extract is protecting the skin, but it's also showing regenerative properties in the skin cells from the application of it. So science, it's a beautiful story around Ishga. We do have a lovely story about our provenance and where it's from, and everything is made in the Hebrides. So the team will go out in the morning and they'll harvest the seaweed, hand harvest it, and then sustainably, I might add, hand harvest it sustainably, take it into the lab, make the extracts, and then formulate the products. So the products could be sitting in its finished form at the end of that day, getting ready to be shipped out. So yeah, everything, everything is done up in the Hebrides, and we're very proud of that. And from a community perspective, we started in a small porta cabin on the edge of a loch, beautiful, dramatic, but now we have a fully functioning lab production facility, which creates jobs, and supports the local community. So that gives you a bit of an overview of Ishga in terms of where we are as a brand, and in our 10-year, we had a goal to supply 100 spas in the UK. So we're very close to this year. So we're very close to supplying 100 spas in the UK. We also distribute out to Japan, to Australia, and the Middle East, and also we're really developing the US market as well. So they are some of the real focus areas for us. And what we're always looking at different research and development and product development. So this year as part of our 10-year anniversary celebration, we launched our Hydra Plus marine cream. Which basically,
in all the celebrations, they looked amazing, and lots of amazing comments about the beauty of that product.
And it's a beautiful product. But what we wanted to do was take all the 10 years of learning and development and science and knowledge, and really create this real luxurious face cream that takes the science to the next level. So we've got the Hydra Plus marine cream. We are also very excited about launching Little Ishga.
I love this. I love the name as well. Little Ishga is it's beautiful, but in its concept as well. Tell us more.
So Little Ishga has come about, but we've found over the years. I used to say I've got 2 small children. They're not small anymore, but one of them was small when we were developing Ishga. And Malcolm has a number of children as well, but I distinctly remember, and I always tell this story, that my son, who's now 15, he was probably about 3 at the time when I had my first pot of marine cream from Malcolm, and he was suffering from eczema and psoriasis, and Malcolm said, try the Ishga cream on Rafe. And first of all, I said, Rafe, let me try it. He said, oh, don't put this on me. It stinks of seaweed. and it doesn't anymore. But I would apply this, and it had wonderful results on his eczema and for years we stopped using steroid cream. And we used the so I suppose from a Little Ishga point of view, when we finally got to the point to say, okay, we really need to, we would love to produce something for smaller people, and it's really starting to come into fruition. So we're actually launching. There's a launch as we speak at luxury family hotels, where we've been working with luxury family hotels, where we've created a range of professional treatments where you can take your children the spa and enjoy the lovely wellness and well-being treatments. So that's exciting.
So important, Leon, isn't it? I mean, we were just talking about this kind of off camera, but the ability to be able to kind of support the whole family, but particularly children now more than ever, who need to kind of understand what real well-being means and to connect with themselves and learn more about their bodies and their minds. It's fantastic, and I think it sounds like a beautiful partnership, but a really important milestone in how we all need to be thinking moving forward.
Yeah, and I think, as I said earlier, I saw some of the lovely promotional shots.
Yeah.
And I know if I show them to my 10-year-old daughter, she'll be very
Count me in.
very keen, very keen. Count me in.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think that really what we're talking about through something that really underpins everything that we do at Ishga is authenticity. You know, we want, you know, we want what we do is to make people feel good. That's what we're all about. Is that whether that's from applying your face cream in the morning to you know, applying the product to help a skin condition that you've had, or whether it's having an Ishga treatment at a spa, or even, but more recently we've created some beautiful sound treatments that really help take you to a point of switching off and relaxation. So and everything around has got to be connected to our, I suppose, to our provenance and our benefits and the science behind it. So
and I think that's kind of, you know, I've seen some of the stuff. I know you launched something at Coworth Park recently, didn't you? And are up for awards yourself with that. But the kind of sound here is not just about picking tracks. I mean, this is, you know, really carefully curated music that is scientifically evidenced to have an impact. And I think that's incredible and really powerful as well.
When we spoke, we developed it with a wonderful gentleman called Brian D'Souza, who's created a company called Swell now. But when we had the initial conversations, I said, well, Brian, we've got this challenge to take sound into the treatment room and make it transfer into a treatment room without being too complicated. And we want to make sure it's Ishga. It's got to be Ishga. It's got to be authentic. And he thought about it for a while, and then he said, "Well, I'll take a team of recording artists and musicians, and we'll take them to the Hebrides, and we'll record the sounds of the waves on the beach in the Hebrides, and we'll record the sounds of the healing well, and we'll play the Gaelic harp out in the nature. We'll have the Gaelic singing." He says, we'll create these soundscapes, and then we'll bring them together to create the sound treatment. Yeah. And at first I was a little bit skeptical. I thought, do we need to go all the way to the Hebrides to do this? Do we not go to a beach closer, the mainland, or and he said, we do. He said, you want to make it authentic, then we do. And we did. And it's a stunning sound treatment.
I think there's something, I mean, I mentioned before, Brian D'Souza did a beautiful webinar for us on the Cancer Care Conference a couple of years ago, and his knowledge is and passion is palpable. And actually he was talking there about the provenance of music, and obviously its impact on us physiologically and biologically. And actually I was talking about the microbiome at the time, and how we kind of know that when we eat locally sourced foods, it resonates with our genetic makeup, doesn't it? And I was like, I wonder if music does the same thing, because actually, so not only can you transport people to a place, but actually you can create that sort of really authentic resonance in someone as a result of that as well, which is powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what you mentioned, the Coworth Park collaboration that we did, and we're up for a few awards with that collaboration, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful. And we've also just about so we've done a collaboration with CM Hall, where they've taken that right the way through the treatment experience, and it transports you to the Hebrides. And It's wonderful. It's really wonderful. But I told you I could talk about Ishga all day once you get me going.
But there's so much to talk about, and I think that's what's beautiful, because I think on the surface, the UK industry, the global market is saturated with product. I mean, there is no shortage of product and skincare available to the consumer. But I think what people don't often see behind professional brands is the amount of science, research, and expertise that goes into not just creating exceptional products that deliver results, but exceptional experiences that deliver results and bring communities together and collaborations. And I think that's what's really special about your brand, is not only its provenance, but being led by science, the power of seaweed and all the amazing benefits that has on us. But now that you're creating these really immersive experiences, just means that actually you're really looking after somebody's truly holistic well-being.
Yeah, and I think that, and definitely, and that stems from, I've always believed that the spa, the wellness world, is about making people feel good. And if we can do more of that, then that is certainly a good thing. So
absolutely, and the world needs more of it, and so I think that's why sort of you're kind of in more demand, and more accounts are going, yes please, thank you, count us in for that, as I'm sure many more will. And I know you're also heading to the US as well. You were telling me about the ranch out there. Tell me that.
Yeah, so we're, as part of our strategy to grow more in the US, we are going to do an Ishga retreat in a ranch in San Diego, which is going to be it's going to involve we're going to involve a presentation around the Ishga brand and the Ishga products and what makes us special. But we've also combined the lovely Ishga sound treatment with some beautiful yoga flows, which the retreat guests are going to immerse themselves in, and then learn more about the product. So again, it's that full circle of sound, yoga, skincare, and bringing people together in that sort of retreat, like-minded people, bringing them together in a retreat environment. So and San Diego seems like a beautiful place. I've never been.
It's not a bad gig, is it, to be able to go San Diego to the ranch to do a retreat?
To do it, so and it's wonderful, and yeah, we get to we get to tag a family holiday on the end of it, which is wonderful. So
it's incredible, but also supporting the well-being of you and your clan, which is amazing.
Yes, exactly. So very exciting.
Very exciting. And well, I just think there's so much going on there, isn't it? And I know hopefully this conversation alone is going to make people that don't know enough about Ishga to kind of want to delve deeper, for sure. I'm sure, like me, many will be very excited to look at kind of getting themselves in to experience these more immersive experiences at places like Coworth Park and Seaham Hall, and also the Little Ishga, which I can't wait to sort of see, and I can't wait to see the photo shoot and everything that sort of transpires from that. It sounds fantastic, and it's just amazing to see how much you and your team are shining your lights to do such amazing work. That's what the Shine Your Light Awards was always about. It's just recognizing people that are going up and above to connect people, to help people feel good, to bring communities together, to collaborate. And so it's beautiful to me that we've got people like you sponsoring it, because that supports the authenticity of what myself and the judges wanted these awards to sort of be and stand for as well. So again, thank you for that. And you're actually sponsoring the Inspirational Charity Contributor category this year. So those nominations are now all in and locked in. The judges have them and are currently processing through their interviews and sort of calls as we speak. Looking forward to see who kind of gets shortlisted into our finalists and the eventual sort of winners on November 8th. But you also do quite a bit for charity. I mean, you recently kind of did a bike ride, and I know you were like, yeah, I just did one leg, but it was 80 plus miles in that leg. Tell us about that, because there was a charity there that I hadn't heard about until you told me, and I just thought that was an important charity that we could shine a light on maybe as well. It was Deborah, wasn't it?
Yeah, so there's a couple of charities that we support, and we're really, it's wonderful that we're supporting this category, because we're involved in a number of different community charities and charities. So the cycle ride was actually for the charity HIT, Scotland. That's the Hospitality Industry Trust. So
Yeah.
that creates apprenticeships for individuals in the hospitality industry that want to develop. So that was part of that charity.
Nice.
The Deborah charity, we're also supporting the Deborah charity, which is a charity to support people with a condition called butterfly skin. So if you've recently saw it, Graham Souness, the ex-footballer, swam the Channel recently to promote this charity, and it's a chronic condition with the skin. And yeah, we're supporting, we're learning more about how seaweed can soothe the skin and support people that are undergoing some chronic and some difficult skin conditions. So, but yeah, in terms of charity, we support lots of local charities and try, you know, we are a small but growing brand, but really try and do everything that we can to support. But yeah, we're really excited to be a sponsor of this to this category and really support the Shine Your Light Awards. I think it's wonderful what you're doing. So thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you, Leon. And again, thank you so much for sharing your time, for sponsoring us. And, you know, if you don't know enough about Ishga, now's your time to delve in, order yourself some products online, ishga.com, but also just keep an eye out, because I know this really is going to sort of grow massively as you kind of move into that sort of retreat space. More and more people are going to be wanting to get into those sound experiences. And as I say, the kind of Little Ishga thing, I think is already, I can see a wait list already of people trying to just sort of get in there to the luxury family hotels and kind of go, yes, please, count us in for that. And we might have to stand behind your daughter, but you know, we'll be in the queue.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you.
Fantastic.
Thanks very much.
That's an absolute pleasure. Look forward to seeing you in person November 8th for the awards themselves. And for those of you watching, the categories have all now closed and are locked down, but do keep an eye out on social for all of those that have been nominated. And if you've been nominated yourself, well done, because this really is about recognising all of you that are going up and above to shine your light for your communities, your clients, your colleagues, and leading with heart. And that is, as Leon said, it's about helping people feel good. And there are so many of you out there doing that. So it is their absolute joy to recognise you for that. And we look forward to seeing you November 8th and seeing who kind of takes the crown for each of these categories. So Leon, thank you for your time, and we'll see you soon.